connections that allow talented, thoughtful, and generous people to unite and take meaningful action through Rotary service. Our club demonstrates every day how we are living President Maloney's mission with our local and international service projects through unity, connections, and action. My name is Jacqueline Thornhill, and I am honored to serve as the 97th president of the greatest Rotary Club in the world. If you have your cell phone, please take it out and participate in our live Facebook stream. Hey, on this day in TV history in 1989, Reverend Jim Baker was sentenced to 45 years in prison and fined $500,000 for his conviction on 24 counts of fraud. In 1991, his sentence was reduced to 18 years, and he was released on parole after a total of only 5 years in prison. In music history in 1988, the Fantasy Records versus John Fogerty case began. Fantasy claimed that Fogerty had plagiarized his own song, Run Through the Jungle, when he wrote The Old Man Down the Road. Now, figure out how that one works, attorneys. In U.S. president history in 1830, Belva Lockwood was born. She was the first woman formally nominated for the U.S. presidency. Learn something every day. Quote of the day comes from blue-collar comedian Jeff Foxworthy. You might be a redneck if you've ever stared at a can of orange juice because it said concentrate. Our invocation will be led by Tina Bishop.
Thank you. Let us pray. Lord, amid all the noise in our lives, we take this moment to stand in silence, to give you thanks for another day, to give you thanks for all of those in our lives who have brought us warmth and love, to give you thanks for the freedoms we have as Americans, to give you thanks for the many gifts of life. We are on our own personal journeys here, but it is but a brief moment in time. So, Lord, help us open ourselves, here, now, and always, to the process of becoming more whole, of loving, living, and serving more fully, of giving and forgiving more freely, and of hearing and understanding more completely the meaning and the purpose of our lives here on earth. Amen.
Thank you, Tina. Our song leader today is Kim Neone.
Good. Okay, so today we're going to be singing Beautiful Day. I assume that everybody knows it. You got it? Jackie. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance Thank you. Please be seated. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Deb Granda. Are you ready to rock and roll, Deb? Let's go. Introduction of International Rotarians, and please remember to hold all applause until all our visitors and guests have been introduced. No show. Well, we do have one international person.
I was looking forward
Everyone, please.
to this German guy so I could practice my language, but he never showed. So I've got a vacant seat over here. But we have Murray. He's always here.
Welcome,
Thank you,
Murray.
You want to say a few words? Okay, he's got something.
Well, I want to just give an update because I know some people come up to Calgary. So this is the third time in our history we've changed the name of our Rotary Club. The first time when it was formed, called the Manchester Club in the 50s, and then in the 70s it changed to the Calgary South. And our new name now is the Rotary Club of Calgary Stampede Park. The reason for the name, obviously, we have a log house that we built on the grounds, and it's called Rotary House, and that's where we meet. It makes more sense. People come, they wonder, where is this place south? They can't find it, but now you'll find us. We're on Stampede Park.
Thanks for the update.
Thank you. Visiting Rotarians, please. Visiting Rotarians, please raise your hands.
Good afternoon.
Good
My name is
afternoon.
Mike Smith. I live in Henderson. We just moved here. And my last Rotary Club, because I love your shirt, was New Delhi, India. And I participated in the eradication of polio, where they pronounced polio gone for 1.3 billion people. Should have seen a lot of smiling faces. Wow is right. Anyway, my name's Mike, and I sure am glad to be here. Thank you.
Welcome, Mike. Other visiting Rotarians, raise your hand, please. Visiting Rotarians. Guests of Rotarians, raise your hand.
Hi, everyone. I brought my oldest friend from the 6th grade. At that time, she was Tawny Bennett. I thought that was Tony Bennett, but she's now Tawny White, and she's here to join and see what it's all about.
Welcome. Guests of Rotarians, raise your hands, please. I know we have a few of those.
President Jackie and fellow Rotarians, I have three guests with me today. First is one of my partners, Marty Little. He's a phenomenal trial attorney, bet your business litigation, and he also has a very boutique PI practice. Next to him is Chuck Surley, who's with the YMCA, as is Mike Levy, also with the YMCA, and we're going to meet them a little more formally in a few minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Past President Jim. Any other guests of Rotarians? Guests of Rotarians. I'd like to announce my head table, please. Our speaker today is Dr. Michelle Paul, and we have Barbara Billitzer, and we have Val Hatley. Let's welcome all of our visiting Rotarians and guests. I'd like to thank the Rotarians who helped us today. Set up Kathy Mahan, greeters Carolyn Sparks and Renee Gamero, invocation led by Tina Bishop, song leader was Kim Neone in the neighborhood. Teardown will be Michael Williams. Our sergeant at arms is Deb Granda. Our scribe is Jamie Goldsmith. Photographer, as always, past President Jim Tucker. Tickets today, John Injami and Deb Granda. All things technical, Kirk Holmes and Stu Lipoff. And Facebook and Instagram now being run by Aaron Overton. My announcements today, the People of Action campaign is still on. Keep sending me those photos like you've been doing. The International Convention in Hawaii is June 6th through 10. Register early, and remember there's discount if you register early, and they are limiting, and I fought off the press. I have the first banner from there, first pin. Thanks to Rampur. No weekly membership drive this week to report. And our member, Don Lloyd, he's in the hospital with bleeding on the brain. He's not doing well. His wife, Betty, has asked for no calls or cards at this point. We'll keep everyone apprised. We are sending around a card for past President Karen Wisenhunt, who had surgery this past Wednesday. And what I hear, her pain level is going down, and she's asked to have her lunch boxed and sent to her. Can somebody tell whether she's on Facebook so we can say a hey to her? Anybody know whether she is? If she is, hello, Karen. To the Peace Conference, that we had 6 total with our sponsorship. I've given away 2. There are 4 left. If any of you would like to go, please see me so we can make sure that we sell all those out. Happy Nevada Day tomorrow is observed. It's also our family day, so there is a lot of government offices that will be closed. Reminder from the email that I had sent out, wear your Halloween costumes next Thursday, which is the actual day of Halloween. And of course, if you're at work, that's one thing, but if you have a costume you'd like to wear, please wear it. And remember to recycle your wheels and tickets, please, very important. Now I'd like to call up past President Jim Cole for a special presentation.
President Jackie and fellow Rotarians, it is my pleasure to talk to you about another gift that is going out, sponsored by Howard & Howard and the Rotary Foundation. As I mentioned before, my partner here is Marty Little. He sits on the board of directors for the YMCA, and I'll let them tell you a little more about it, but they do fantastic work here in town, and so it is with great honor that I present on behalf of the Las Vegas Rotary Club and Howard & Howard a check to the YMCA in the amount of $12,500.
I'd like to thank the Rotary Club and thank these folks for a nice, kind, generous gift to the YMCA that will be used to provide memberships to kids and families in one of our 4 locations. So great to be back in the Rotary. I think it was many years ago when Randy Campanelli kicked me out for probably too many fines. But great to be back here, and I see a lot has changed. The music has drastically improved since I left, so kudos.
Yes, thank you very much to Howard & Howard for this gift, and Rotary Club for being able to provide us this venue for today. As Mike was saying, the 4 venues that we have here in Las Vegas, I'm not sure if you realize, but the YMCA has, this past summer, we hit the highest amount of total memberships, totaling 32,000 that we have here in Las Vegas. And obviously the families and the seniors are the 2 largest categories that we have. So with that type of growth, today's society, more and more applications, requests for financial assistance and scholarships for membership and program. So we're trying to do our best to accommodate those individuals and families. And one unique growth area that we're seeing is the military. 25% of our membership is military, and we're seeing those families come and go, basically. They're here for a couple of years and then move on. But again, with this type of support, we're able to service families and youth in our community. Thank you.
Okay, today is October 24th, and it is World Polio Day. And we have some wonderful announcements today. And to do that, I'd like to call up Bill Houghton for a special presentation.
Thank you, President Jackie, and thanks for letting me stand up and make this announcement today. one of the reasons that I became a Rotarian some 10 years ago really comes down to, like all of you, service above self and really making a difference in the society and the community we leave behind. And to think that we can individually make a difference on one of these diseases on planet Earth has been humbling to me every day as a Rotarian. So I'm really, really thrilled to be here and grateful to Jackie for allowing me to make this announcement. As we talk about the eradication of polio, I'm going to ask Stu to tee up this little minute-and-a-half long video that, anyway, is fabulous.
This is a story of historic progress, a story that doesn't exist without you. Our unifying effort in 3 decades of action demonstrates our commitment and endurance. And our progress thus far shows that a polio-free world is achievable. Individuals, clubs, partners, and governments share a collective vision to improve the health of every single child. We've eliminated polio in some of the most difficult places, overcoming obstacles and navigating complex issues. Our successes prove that polio will be eradicated, and while ending a global disease is not easy, as Rotary, we don't give up. We'll continue our fight until each child is protected. This isn't possible without you. So stay involved, keep pushing forward, engage your clubs and communities. Start a social media conversation and increase visibility on the importance of this global effort. Hold events and fundraisers on World Polio Day and throughout the year. Advocate to governments about the importance of supporting polio eradication. Make a contribution and invest in one of the largest health initiatives ever. Be a character in our story. Be the solution to our challenge. It's because of each and every one of you that we will improve our future by making polio a disease of the past. Eradication is possible. So let's keep our promise.
Thank you, Stu. When Rotary International first took on polio on a global level, there was 350,000 cases globally. And now, due to the efforts of Rotary, the Gates Foundation, and other contributors, there's a happy announcement for today. But that said, polio continues to paralyze children. I pulled this from the World Health Organization. And while we're 99% of the way to eradicating polio, we're not at 100%. There's 2 countries right now that do have polio still, as we know. It's Afghanistan and it's Pakistan. And those communities are very difficult to get into, and yet every child still needs to have the polio vaccine administered to them. Most diseases can't be eradicated because of the way the diseases evolve, but polio can be eradicated, and that's proven now. And we're so close to getting there. The vaccines are inexpensive, and they're easy to get. We just have to get them out to the communities. And as you know, billions of them have gotten out thanks to the efforts of Rotary. The effort, as mentioned in the video, to eradicate polio is the largest health initiative, or one of the largest health initiatives ever undertaken. And again, we're so close. Every child has to have the eradication. And let's see, polio-funded staff strategies and resources for health initiatives have to continue as a routine globally, and we can get to the eradication of polio. So the fun facts that Jackie had mentioned are threefold. First of all, in 2020, now that it's been 4 consecutive years that the country of Nigeria has not had a case of polio, in the year 2020, the entire African continent will be declared polio-free by the World Health Organization. And today, on a global level, Rotary International is so blown away to announce the complete eradication of wild poliovirus type 3 on planet Earth. That deserves a round of applause. And the third part to the announcement I want to share with you guys is, you know, if you're running a race, if you're really pushing to be successful in any endeavor in life, the finish line is as important as the start. Absolutely. That's where you don't slow up. That's where you push harder. That's where you dig a little bit deeper, and that's where you push to get across the finish line. With that in mind, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has announced a 2-to-1 match. So every dollar raised, every $10 raised becomes $30. Every $100 raised becomes $300. So President Jackie's asked that we pass around the polio pig, and I'm going to ask every one of you guys to reach into your hearts, reach into your wallets, and realize that the finish line is right here in front of us. And we can do this, and we can eradicate polio from planet Earth for all of our children. That's all. Thanks.
You're good. I need this part. Oh, there you go. Okay. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to call on Stuart Lipoff. He has a special presentation on our virtual Green Book.
Thank you, President Jackie, and good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. This is not an evil plot to drag everybody into the 21st century, but I do want to give people options. Last week, the Green Book never reached our table, and I suspect that's probably happened to a few people here. I gave this presentation a couple of years ago, and right afterwards, people started using the cyberspace capability to sign up. And I think that's kind of dwindled down. So I think it's probably time for a little refresher. But what I want you guys to know is you don't have to wait for the book to reach your table. You can do it here anytime. You can do it at home. And there are lots of different ways you can do it. And I'm going to show you one method using your phone, another method using the email that goes out to you each month, and then a third method, which just involves you taking your computer and going to the website, fifthwheel.lvrotary.us. And if I'm doing my job, everything that you find you can sign up for in the Green Book, you'll find out is available online, and you can enter it there. Anything you enter online, Sean will actually write it into the book. So if you're not sure whether it got through, you can check the book next time. When it comes around, you'll see your name there, and you can edit it. You can cross yourself off or add people, but at least you can find a way to kind of figure out what's going on, what the options are, without all the activity and other distractions, wonderful distractions of being here. So let me switch over to my phone, and I'll show you that modality first. Come on, phone, wake up. So, hello, it's my phone. If you guys open up your wheel, you will notice that there is this little QR code that exists. Hello? Here we are. It's my phone. I opened up something called the QR code reader. You probably already have it on your phone. If you don't, you can download it and add it. But all you have to do is just point the thing at the QR code, and what you'll see is it brings up the link to the fifth wheel. Depending on your application, it may go directly here, or you may have to type on this link. But when you do that, what you'll see is you'll get an option of the various sign-ups that are available, that are currently in the wheel and in the Green Book. And if you actually want to sign up for them, you can pick one like today's this Cigar Social. And what you'll see, I know it's a little hard to read, so let me blow it up. You can see that you can sign up for the Cigar Social by just typing your name in where it says enter your name and register, total number of people. And if there's some notes, for example, I want a vegetarian meal or, whatever, what this actually does is when you click on the bottom to go register, it just basically sends an email to Sean with that information on it. And then, you will have that entered back in the Green Book, and you can go back to the event list. You can sign up for something else like the Wine to Water, for example, which is coming up on the 14th. and I guess he'll be talking about that a little bit later. But you can see the information starts at 5:30, Dave Lester's house. Information, $10 for 2 bottles of water. You know, enter your name and so on and so forth. So that's one way that you can end up doing this. And I'm going to show you 2 other ways. If I can get the machine to behave here. Because I hit the wrong button. Okay. Okay. So way number 2 is to just use your home computer or your phone, go to the website, fifthwheel.rotary.us. And that'll take you to the very same screen you saw here. Way number 3 is perhaps the easiest way of all. And I send out to every one of the members a monthly publication that I call the Fifth Wheel. And this is an example of the most recent one that went out. This goes to 165 of the members. I do get analytics. About half of you people actually delete it before you read it. That's pretty typical. Thank you. But if you actually open it and you go down to the bottom, you'll actually see the same list of stuff that's in the wheel. And so for half of you who actually do look at this, if you actually want to sign up, you don't even have to use your phone. You can just look at this email. And here we go. Let's click on the wine to water. And if the gods of the internet are with us, and they seem to be, it'll open up the very same screen that you just saw a few moments ago, where you can enter for this. Stu, Sean will figure out who that is. And I will actually going to bring my wife to that. And you would click to register. Unfortunately, actually, I'm not going to be here during November. But if I did click here, I would be registering for this. So anyhow, that's the end of my presentation. Please do consider using these tools because it'll give you some more time to make considered decisions about what to attend, and you don't have to wait for the book to come to your table.
Thank you, Stu. I'd like to call up past President Randy Campanelli for a short 5-minute presentation about our foundation, the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to try to keep it less than 5 minutes, if that's possible for a guy like me. I do want to say, Mr. Luby, great to see you again, former member. Not only is our music better, but the presidency is much better than when I was president. So we'd love to have you back. Come back and visit us. I just want to give you an update on the foundation. I'm the president this year. The foundation is worth about $2.2 million. We're up about 15% this year, but we've had good markets. But we have excellent managers, Craig Miller and the Anderson Group, Dan Anderson. So it's doing well. And you know, I just want you to know, you never tout performance in our business, but you know, I get all the numbers for various major colleges and Ivy League and all that stuff, and you know, we don't bow down to any of them from a performance point of view. That's how good our management is. We have the Tiberti Fellowship, which is if you give $1,000, that's the limit, or that's the floor. $1,000, you're considered a Tiberti Fellow. So if you look at our new membership book, you'll see that big T and a little F there. That means you're a Tiberti Fellow. That's $1,000 to the permanent fund. Okay, not just the program funds, the permanent funds. Remember, when you give money to your own foundation, some of that goes to the annual program fund, the APF, and that's money that's spent, you know, in the year. And then some of it, if you've put for the permanent fund, then that goes to the permanent fund. So I want you to know this is not an abstract construct, if you will, about, well, we have a permanent endowment and all that stuff. We distribute 3% a year. It's on a rolling 3-year basis per Nevada revised statutes. And for President Jackie's year, we, if I'm not mistaken, we gave a few dollars under $60,000. So there aren't many clubs in the United States, Rotary clubs, that have $60,000 to spend before we ask you for any more money. So it's not a theoretical construct. Finally, I want to say that we have about $81,000 saved for the Centennial Project. So each president, the presidents raise their money, as Jackie did and as Richard Jost is doing. They raise their money, and the first thing they do now is donate $10,000 to the Centennial Fund that is part of the foundation. Our goal is to hit $100,000, which I'm pretty sure we will, and we are actively looking for projects that fit that will either start or end or be somewhere in the middle, but will be tied to the year 2023, which is our 100-year anniversary. And Janice Lunke's working on the party already, which I know takes a long lead time, or at least she's thinking about it. Finally, we have a board meeting after this meeting, and all members are welcome, so feel free to stop by. It's fun and exciting stuff. And on that note, I will let you folks go. President Jackie. Thank you for that smattering of applause. Oh, there you are.
May I have Kim Naoni come forward, please? No, you didn't do anything. I would like to present you with your pin for 1 year of perfect attendance. Just want to see if any of you were paying attention. Thank you very much. Okay, in the interest of time, we're going to go straight to the announcements. So Deb Granda, ready to go? Please take the microphone to Renee Gamero about the canned food drive, please.
Hi, Deb. Hello, fellow Rotarians. The canned food drive is well underway. You're going to hear some more announcements of, but right now we have inside the Green Book, we have an available location for you to make any donations. You're going to hear other announcements of how we're going to beat the Kiwanis. And if the Kiwanis is anything like the Kiwanis back in Carmel Valley, where I'm from, my good friend, I'm not going to say his name in case he gets in trouble, described the Kiwanis as a drinking club with a giving problem. So I don't know how it is in Vegas, but I'm confident that we're going to put our best foot forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. If we win this year, it'll be our 14th straight year. Please take the microphone, please, to Jamel for the Halloween party wrap-up.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. I'd just like to tell you that last weekend we had a Halloween party, and we actually raised $672 for this event. And we thank Anil for catering the event, and also past President Ross Swain for opening his home for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamel. And thank you, past President Russ, wherever you are. Please take the microphone to Janice Lenke about our upcoming Halloween Day party and the annual fundraiser.
Lots going on, I see today. For the holiday party, just a reminder, it is on Thursday, December 5th from 6 to 10, and it's at the Dragon Ridge Country Club. And we have called it Holidays with Paul Harris. And if you looked at the invitation, the photo looks like it's from like the 1920s in Chicago. So cocktail attire or glitz and glamour, if you want to come in themed attire, which I know every year we have certain people who do. So it's going to be a great evening, and we're doing, I'm so bad. We're doing a Chinese auction, so we'll get out more information about the tickets, and we have some incredible items that are being donated, baskets and all sorts of goodies for men and women. So go ahead and sign up because it's going to be a great event. And then the annual fundraiser, Cuisine and Octane. We sent out the sponsorship packages via email. The first two that we would like to sell is the Save the Date card. It gets a lot of exposure on Facebook as well as printed copies. We print about almost 1,000 cards to get out in circulation. You guys, thank you. And what else do we want to tell you? And of course, the prestigious, you guys are so funny. The presenting sponsor, we're looking to get that exposure because we're sending out the press release shortly, and we'd like to name the company that will be doing that. So thank you. Let us know. We have a great committee, and we're meeting every second and fourth week to talk and move forward with the event. Thanks.
Thank you, Janice. And Maria's not here, so she asked me to wrap up the Harvest Festival at Beckley. A great big thank you to all Rotarians who so generously brought in candy for the Beckley Harvest Festival. I was told that there was candy left over, which is unheard of. According to Shannon, the principal, it was the best festival ever. Because of people like you, it was great success. Rotary was represented by Pam Zamolis and 2 wonderful teenagers. This is so special as I was unable to attend because of a family commitment, and she saved the day. Thank you, Renee. And for Open World, since Miss Karen is in the hospital right now, I just wanted to thank all of you and any of you who participated on the committee, were host families, drivers, anything. Please stand up so that we can recognize your wonderful work. Please, everyone stand who participated in Open World. Thank you all very much. The ladies had a wonderful time, and they're busy on Facebook friending everybody they can think of around here in their native language. So I had to look at the picture to know who was who. Okay, take the microphone, please, to Kim Neone for Wine to Water.
Hello, everybody. So on November 14th, 5:30 p.m., we will be hosting another Wine to Water event. This time, I want to thank my friend Dave Lester for volunteering his house. We promise to behave, Dave. So basically, what is Wine to Water? Basically, bring 1 bottle of wine to share and 1 bottle to be auctioned. We'll have a wine guy who will auction the wine and other wine-related items. And also, we'll have a water expert from Community First Global, which is our partner in this endeavor. All the proceeds that we get go towards supporting a water project in Cambodia. So we have somebody who's a Rotarian who happens to be in town for the Peace Conference that will be giving us a background on that organization, the work they do globally. So I hope you can all be there. It's affordable. It's a fun time. And, bring wine. It's at Dave Lester's house in Henderson. It's in the Green Book, so please sign up. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Turn around behind and past President Jim Hunt about our upcoming Cigar Social and Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's coming up tomorrow for all of you. Cigar Fellowship number 20, if you can believe it. This is the 20th time we've gotten together to raise funds for the foundation. There's a great ad in the wheel, thanks to Bill Houghton and all of his staff. I want to thank Bob Barnard and Rose Faloco and Jamel Seriat. They've donated some great gifts. Bob always gives us a bunch of cool little trinkets that he acquires. Rose has given us 2 beautiful baskets in time for Halloween with a Addams Family movie and some popcorn and all kinds of great mugs, and 2 baskets like that. One has wine, and Jamel's got all kinds of gifts as well. So, and we've got cigars and humidors and all the things that we always get for the raffle. So please come out, buy a bunch of raffle tickets. It'll be at Randy's house tomorrow. The weather's going to be perfect. As always, if you can, bring your own libation that you like and 3 cigars. And for those of you who either like to make a little side dish or your significant other can do that, bring a side dish is always welcome. Randy needs to have the list at his gate out there at his home development so they know who to let in. So if you haven't signed up in the book, please text me or Randy and let us know you're coming. Make sure you're signed up if you would. So tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on the Cigar Social. Okay, Santa Claus got off to a great start last week. Thank you all very much. The only thing that always gets me a little stressed out is making sure we have enough volunteers. And for some reason, it seems like every year we always seem to wait till we get close to it and everybody starts asking me, do we have enough volunteers? Do we have enough volunteers? And people come out of the woodwork all of a sudden and we get our numbers we need. Please do us a favor this year. find out who's going to come shop with you and sign them up. Add the numbers to the sheet when it comes around. You can change that number at any time. If you decide you've now got a spouse or someone that's going to join you, add that number to the number of total volunteers that will be helping you. And the sooner we know we have enough people, the sooner we'll relax and be able to just say, let's look forward to the event. So if you missed the Green Book last week, as Stu said, please sign up, because there were a few that didn't make it and sign up for donations and volunteers that we usually see. So we're doing great, off to a great start, and I'll keep you posted as we go along. Thanks.
Thank you, Past President Jim. And we were approved by the district for our first grant. Please take the microphone to Michael Williams, please, about our District 5300 Peace Conference coming up.
Peace Conference is November the 18th. 16th. Thank you. Treasure Island Hotel. Thanks to Janet, we now have discount tickets. The people that come to the conference can discount tickets to the Love Cirque du Soleil show. Thank you, Janet. It's her friend turned us on to these tickets. And remember, too, this is the first time, I've said this before, first time Las Vegas has hosted a peace conference. So we really need to make a good showing. So, and it's only a half a day conference. It's on a Saturday. So please step up to the plate and just show up. It's a half a day. You still have the rest of the Saturday to do your other things. Thank you.
And please remember, I have 4 tickets available, so please see me so I can sign you up. Please take the microphone, please, to Bill Houghton about TLC.
Thank you. Teen Leadership Camp is going to be held in early December down at Big Bear, California. Our club is sponsoring a handful of children, and I want to say thanks real quick to Jamel and to Michael Williams, who are going to be Rotary advisors along with myself going to the event. But Michael and I are running into kind of a weird problem where we're having a tough time getting a response from Cashman Middle School. So we still have open slots, and so if you know of any 8th graders who could benefit from this amazing program, be sure to contact me after the meeting or throw me a quick phone call. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Bill. Please take the microphone to Kirk Alexander to remind us about the upcoming Super Build.
All right, next weekend we're going to build a house in Mexico, probably in Tecate. Yeah, I got the memo and I'm just complying, so I seem to be the only other one. So we're going to leave on Friday. Most of the group that's leaving, there's a contingent from the Las Vegas area that's leaving on Friday, and we'll be back on Sunday. So if anybody wants to join us, needs a ride or whatever, just let me know. If you're interested in attending, just give me a holler. I'll be happy to give you the instructions. I walked Tony through it about a week ago, and she found that it wasn't so easy to do, and it's not. It's a little complicated because you got to go back through DACDB to register, you get to the district website to get to the quarter zone registration. It's a little complicated the way they do it, but regardless, we're going to actually bus into the job, so everybody's going to rendezvous at about 5:30, 6 o'clock Saturday morning. We'll get on buses, we'll be on a job site by about 7:15, 7:30. We'll be done before the sun goes down and back to the hotels in San Diego. Actually, Chula Vista, to be specific. Anyhow, if you're interested, give me a holler. Email, cell phone, any way you like. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Please take the microphone to Dr. Andy Kunayuki, please. Andy, a little birdie sent me a copy of the Review Journal here, and I see not just one picture of you, but 2. What is going on here?
I have no idea. I haven't seen it.
It's called Pitch Perfect. Las Vegas man wins Henderson Star Tank Clash. Still don't know? Oh, you're really in trouble now. In the View, you may have this so you can see your picture in both of those pictures. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. $97 times 2 because you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Very fine.
Thank you for your donation to the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation. Okay, our raffle drawing today. $2,085 plus today's take. To draw for the Joker, 5331361. 1361. One, 361. Who's got it? Nobody has it? Okay. Try this one. Oh. Ah. Okay. We're going to donate this to the Polio Big. Thank you, President Jim. Okay, for the Lowry's Bucks, 5331360. 360. I didn't mix these up. They were mixed up. 1360. Jim, do you have that one too? Okay, somebody else has it. Kirk Alexander. There you go. Thank you very much. And I'd like to call up Dr. Andy Kunayuki. Did you remember that you're introducing the speaker today? Oh, I forgot you were announcing it. Kim. Boy. I'll see if you're paying attention. Kim Neone is going to introduce our speaker.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It's my honor and privilege to introduce my colleague and friend, Dr. Michelle Paul. Michelle is the director and leader of our practice program on campus. The practice is a community-oriented center that provides psychological services and other important needs to serve our community. As you know, Las Vegas has a big challenge with mental health and the provision of mental health practitioners. So one of the neat things about Michelle and her team is that they're training the next generation of mental health practitioners that are going to serve in our community. Michelle has won numerous awards as a leader in her field here in our state and is well respected around the country for the work and contributions that she does in educating the future of mental health practitioners here in our state. So you can read her bio in the wheel. I don't want to get into that. So without further ado, Michelle, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I just get myself organized here. Well, firstly, I want to thank, certainly the Rotary Club of Las Vegas, but folks that represent Nevada System of Higher Education. My people are here, so I want to say hello. Carolyn Sparks also welcomed me when I walked into the room, which was a very warm welcome. Thank you so much. Anybody else that I missed? Of course, Kim. You all know Kim. I think Kim's super popular around here. Did I miss anyone else? Okay. Well, the last time I was here, I was honored and humbled to accept a donation to the practice. And I wanted to let you know that that donation went towards keeping our doors open this summer. We train graduate students in mental and behavioral health services, and graduate students aren't always funded through the summer. So in order to keep up our services, because mental health needs don't take a break during the academic summers off, right? So we have to keep our doors open, and your donation went a long way in helping us provide services to about 120 people through the summer months and to fund about 10 graduate students who would otherwise have to do other activities to make money, like wait tables or something, which is, you allowed them to keep their training going. So I'm going to kick off with a little video about the practice, and I apologize in advance because the video was made to appeal to folks to give to the practice. Well, you all have already given, so I wanted to acknowledge that. Certainly, if anybody is inspired to give some more, we have UNLV Rebels Give is coming up in a week or two. And we're certainly involved in that project. But I show the video because it really captures what the practice is and what we do and why we exist. And then from there, I'm going to talk about our topic for the day. All right. The data is clear. 1 in 5 of us has a mental health condition. And if you're not struggling, you probably know someone who is. Yet, most Americans lack access to care. And here in Nevada, we rank last nationally for access to quality mental health care despite having a great need for it. We don't have enough mental health care providers. We lack affordable options. We operate under old training and care models. All of this limits our ability to overcome what is undeniably a mental health crisis in our state. Nevada's been coping with this problem for too long, which is why, in 2012, UNLV's Colleges of Education and Liberal Arts came together to form the practice, a partnership for research, assessment, counseling, therapy, and innovative clinical education. The practice at UNLV is a community mental health clinic focused on state-of-the-art training and quality mental health service. Through innovative interdisciplinary training in best practices, we are increasing access to quality mental health care now and developing the next generation workforce to serve our community tomorrow. Since opening our doors, we are proud to have served over 2,000 people in need and trained over 150 students. Because the practice was founded through a spirit of collaboration, it is uniquely situated to become a leader in providing all Nevadans the world-class mental health care they deserve. But we cannot do our part in solving Nevada's mental health crisis without your help. With your donation, we can fully realize our vision to become a national model of excellence in mental health research, training, responsive treatment, and community outreach. There's no greater example of the practice's capacity to respond than our activity following the mass shooting of October 1st, 2017. The largest assault of its kind in American history occurred less than 2 miles from the UNLV campus. Virtually everyone in Las Vegas was impacted by this tragedy. The practice answered the call to offer help, hope, and healing. In the immediate hours following the shooting, we administered psychological first aid to victims. We distributed educational materials to guide teachers and parents on how to talk with children after a mass shooting. We trained our staff in psychological first aid and recovery and provided free services to those affected then and now. And we responded to countless local, national, and international media requests seeking to understand more about the psychological impacts of this community trauma and what to expect as we all heal together. Your generous support for the practice not only ensures our ability to continue these essential services, but to grow. Your dollars allow us to keep our doors open year-round, fill in the gaps when services are not covered, supervise and train more students, strengthen our infrastructure, and expand our community engagement. When we are mentally well, we feel satisfied in our relationships, competent in our work, and able to enjoy life as it comes. We take the day-to-day hassles in stride, and we stand resilient in the face of stress and trauma. When we are mentally healthy, our community cannot help but flourish and thrive. The practice exists because Nevada deserves to be better than last. We think it's time to invest in the research, training, and care that it will take. We think it's time to make mental health a priority. Don't you? Thank you. So we can pop up my slides. So what I'm going to turn to now is the topic that was noted in the wheel. Did I get that right? It says suicide. We're going to talk about suicide prevention, and what every single one of us in the room can do to open a dialogue with each other about how to reduce the numbers of deaths, the number of deaths by suicide in our communities. So let me just pop through here. The practice, as I mentioned before, is a community mental health clinic. It serves not just the campus, but the entire community. We have clients from ages 2 and up. And we have brought together, in partnership, 2 colleges, 2 departments, and 4 training programs. Colleges of Liberal Arts and Education, we have the psychology department, clinical psychology, doctoral students train, and in the Department of Counseling, School Psychology, and Human Services, we have school psychology, EDS and PhD, and mental health counseling. Do I have any other fellow mental and behavioral health providers here, or one other? What's your area? And your discipline? Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. So we're very proud of that partnership that we've created, because it takes connection, as you all know. It takes connectedness and building connections to solve big problems, right? So I'm not going to reiterate this too much. We are in a mental health crisis. We are 51st in the nation for access to mental health care despite the need. And the practice exists to increase access to care, affordable quality care now, while also training the next generation workforce. So for example, in Nevada, there are only 530 psychologists licensed in the state, and that puts us at about 47th in the nation for psychologists per capita. And the numbers are similarly poor for other mental and behavioral health disciplines in the state. So one of the things that we do with our students is we train them in the problem of death by suicide. So I'm going to talk about that today with you all, and talk a little bit about suicide risk, particularly in the veteran population. Do we have veterans or folks who have a veteran in their family? Several veterans here. Thank you for your service. And I imagine many of us have relatives or neighbors who also served. So I'm going to talk about them as a subpopulation, but the broader messages are going to apply no matter which population you're working with or spending time with. So suicide is a public health issue. Since 1999, the overall rate has increased by 25%. And in 2016, it was the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. Veterans are 20% more likely to die by suicide compared to their civilian adult counterparts. As of September 2017, 10% of Nevada's adult population was a veteran, so approximately 218,000 veterans in our state. So specific to Nevada, in Nevada, we have the 11th highest rate of suicide in the nation at 19.3 deaths by suicide per 100,000. That's actually improved. We used to be at 10th place, and last year we were the only state actually to have an overall reduction in our suicide risk in the United States, although we had a spike in our youth suicide rate. And we're still trying to sort that out. It's the 8th leading cause of death for Nevadans, and the 2nd leading cause of death for our youth ages 15 to 24. Veterans comprise an estimate of 23% of completed suicides, which would translate in Nevada numbers to about 4 to 5 deaths by suicide in our veteran population per 100,000. And if we have about 218,000 veterans, you can see that that's about 10 deaths by suicide, completed suicides per year. That doesn't include attempts or thoughts of suicide. So sometimes looking at those numbers alone, those static numbers leave us feeling a little helpless, or at least they do for me sometimes. And they don't tell us a lot about what to do. So what I want to share with you is a model of suicide that actually opens doors and helps us think about what to do, and I think is actually a very optimistic model, because there's plenty we can do when you think about this model. And it's not complicated, which is also helpful. Sometimes big problems can be daunting because they're so multi-determined. But in the case of suicide, we can break it down into sort of 3 levels. Pain, hopelessness, connectedness, and suicide capacity. So the first step to even thinking about suicide as an option or as a solution to a problem, is pain. And by pain, I mean broadly defined and really specific to the person. So it can be physical pain, it can be emotional pain. It basically is the experience that day to day life is punishing in some way, shape, or form. And you have to have a sense of hopelessness that pain is really never going to go away. You don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. So when you have that combination, you're going to have an increased risk of suicide, because the mind, the inner private experience, will bring up the possible solution, which is escape from pain, which nobody wants to feel pain day in and day out. And so the thought of suicide as a possible out, or just can bubble up for many, many people. Secondly, is connectedness. So what do I mean by connectedness? Again, also defined by the individual person. What you feel connected to. Do you feel like you have a place? Do you feel like you have a sense of belonging, whether that's in your job or with your family, or a sense of meaning or purpose in your community? So, if you have a sense of connectedness, that keeps you invested in life. And connectedness is really what serves as the protective factor or the buffer between pain and a serious act that is meant to end one's life. And then the last step is to be capable of attempting suicide. And what do I mean by that? So there are many factors that increase one's capacity for suicide. Our entire biology is wired to survive. So we know that even people who, if there's video footage of people who have attempted to jump from the Golden Gate Bridge, for example, even those folks at the very last second, their bodies will try to reach to survive. So how do we overcome that biological wiring to survive? A lot of people think that suicide is something that is an impulsive thing. But in fact, people who make a serious attempt and I guess I'll stop there, because even not all serious attempts end in suicide, but folks who make a serious attempt have built up the capacity, so they've become desensitized to exposure to things like, or to death, right? And that's one thing. And then the other thing that increases capacity is access to lethal means. So we can work with folks to reduce the capacity for suicide, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. Any questions so far?
Is somebody that overdoses accidentally considered suicide?
Well, it's hard to know, right? an accidental overdose, did they mean to imbibe so much as to kill themselves, right? That's the question. What do you mean? About the percentage of people who die by accidental overdose? I don't have that at the top of my head or in my statistics right now, no.
I'm just looking at that model, and I'm thinking about some of the people who, I don't know, suicide by cop or whatever. They've actually didn't just go in a room and overdose or whatever, but they went out and they did something horrible, probably knowing that they were not going to end up alive out of it. And it seems like there's a different model for that. I don't know, how does that kind of fit, that where they have to go out in a blaze of glory, and more important for them to die than for whatever it is that drove them to that.
Well, I think it fits in the model very similarly. They would have to overcome what would be typical fear for most of us, to put themselves in a situation that they know has a high likelihood of not ending well. And what kind of pain must one be experiencing to knowingly put yourself in a situation where you will be at the receiving end of a lethal, act? Does that answer your question?
Driving them is not just ending their pain or disconnecting from the world, but hurting others. And that's, I don't know, I'm just trying to, it doesn't seem to be the same sort of driver.
Well, sometimes pain can come in the form of anger, right? Right. And usually because you feel as though you've been the victim of something, and your pain is angry pain. And we can think of a wounded animal, and sometimes wounded animals hide in the bushes, and some lash out.
I noticed you didn't have a breakdown between ages, but isn't there a concern about higher suicide rates among teenagers?
Yes, there is. And let's see. I had it on the slide right earlier. What did I say? 15 to 24. Yeah. It's the second leading cause of death for our youth, 15 to 24. And that's 22nd highest rate in the nation, with 12 per 100,000. So we think about the implications of that model. How are we doing on time, by the way? I just want to get I'm 12 minutes left or 12 minutes in? Okay. So let's move towards being more optimistic here. The implications based on that model are to reduce pain, increase hope, improve connectedness, and reduce capacity. So if we turn towards veteran populations. So what are sources of pain for veterans? We know that population is at higher risk because they are more likely to have been exposed to traumatic losses. And they're also at increased risk for something called moral injury, which is the pain that's associated with either violating one's own moral sense of justice or moral code, or been exposed to that violation. And what's associated with moral injury are feelings like guilt, shame, anger, a loss of meaning, a loss of trust from the sense of betrayal that one experiences, and then isolation. And I am sure that there are other sources of pain that I'm not touching on, but these are primary ones. And when we think, now I want to mention something here, since you asked the question I'm focusing my talk on our veteran population, but if we think about the question regarding youth, sometimes people wonder, well, what do kids have to be upset about, right? They're 17, they have no idea what could come their way. But you have to think about what are the potential sources of pain that our youth have today that are maybe different from what we had. I have some ideas about that, and maybe we can talk about that too if we have a little time. But in any given population where you're thinking about the risk of suicide and suicide being a potential outcome, what you want to get in touch with is not whether they're a veteran or whether they're 15 to 24 years old, but what's their potential source of pain and suffering. And connect to that. And figure out if there are ways that you can help them relieve or ameliorate that pain. So for our veterans, and here's where I would open it up to you all, how do we open the conversation to hope and help? And I start that off because I also want to mention one big myth that a lot of people hold, and that is I can't talk about suicide with someone because I'm afraid if I bring it up, I'll put it in their mind as an option. And that is the farthest thing from the truth. You are not going to put in someone's mind the option of killing themselves. If it's there, it's there. You bringing it up and asking them directly, have you ever thought of killing yourself? It'll not be something that you just popped into their head. They will have been thinking about it, and they will be open to the conversation. Talking about it openly, minimizing stigma and shame around it is one of the ways in which we're going to decrease those numbers. So opening up to you all, how do we reduce pain? How do we increase hope? How do we improve connection and sense of belongingness for our friends, our neighbors? Have them join Rotary. Like, seriously, no kidding. You got wine, you got cigars, you got costumes. I know. but you know, you've got so many opportunities to belong and to connect to a global purpose. I think that absolutely, you all sort of hold the model here for increasing belongingness, connection, higher purpose, higher meaning. Jim, you were going to...
My son-in-law, he was in a lot of pain, and so he was using opioids to take care of it. And one of the problems we had with him is when he'd ever get together in a family gathering like Thanksgiving or Christmas, he would purposefully try to disconnect or make you disconnect from him. So I guess he was looking forward to overdosing or whatever. So one of the things you got to be concerned about if somebody is misbehaving in any way that is in any kind of pain, you've got to establish that connectivity and keep it, you know, and work at it, because sometimes it's really hard, especially when they get aggressive.
Michelle?
Absolutely true.
I wondered,
Yes.
is illegal drug usage a factor in the high percentage of youth between 15 and 24? That's really a high number of deaths.
I think that probably is a factor. So that speaks to the that increasing the capacity for acting, acting on suicidal thoughts, because when we are abusing substances, we are more likely to make an impulsive decision, right? So I would not doubt that substance abuse and addiction plays a role in increased suicide rates, probably through that fourth level of reducing capacity or increasing the capacity for acting. And right, with your, with the example you gave, it sometimes can be hard to make a connection and reach out. That sometimes the level of shame and emotional pain is so great that paradoxically, people push us away when we try to make those connections. And so you have to, and they kind of co-create a self-fulfilling prophecy of I'm terrible, I'm a horrible human being, nobody would want to be connected to me, so I isolate and I push away. And then most of us are like, okay, fine, you don't want to connect, so we pull away, and then that reinforces the belief that they're shameful and don't belong. So you really have to resist that urge. That's true.
Dr. Paul, thank you for bringing this subject to us because I know it's all around us. It struck me when you started your presentation that you deal with people as young as 2.
Mm-hmm.
Having a degree in psychology myself and having studied child psychology, child development, I'm wondering how a child that young could commit suicide.
Oh, well, when I said we work with people age 2 and up, I was just saying that in the mental health clinic where our students train, we serve the community at large. And so we see kids that are 2 and all the way up, but the problems that present to us, I didn't mean to imply that we have 2-year-olds who are coming to us with suicidal ideation. Having said that, though, once children reach that developmental level to understand the meaning of death and to understand that maybe they want to disappear, you can have children as young as 5, 6 say, I want to die, I wish I were dead. And they can maybe not completely understand the finality of that, but they do feel pain. They're hurting in some way. They're being made to feel little and disconnected and not okay. Sometimes that says, I'm a bad boy or I'm a bad girl, right? And I don't feel like I'm accepted or appreciated or loved. And so then you can have those thoughts pop up as young as that. And it doesn't mean they're not serious. It does mean that they're feeling enough pain to want to be gone, at least in that moment.
Okay.
I heard you're a taskmaster and really good with time, so.
This subject is timely for me. I'm right here, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I lost a neighbor 2 weeks ago to suicide.
Mm-hmm.
He was a veteran,
Mm-hmm.
and as many of our veterans were, he was exposed to Agent Orange and had a very devastating cancer, as many do.
Mm-hmm.
Much to what you described, he planned it, made sure his widow was, taken care of and everything was set, and then he sent her to the store to buy ice cream, and he shot himself in the backyard right after he called the police to come get him so she wouldn't find him. But my question is really, there are so many veterans that were exposed to that experience and have devastating cancers, very painful cancers. Do you see that in your statistic, that suicide is an option for them, that they are using that as an option?
I don't know the specific statistics for different populations of veterans. I'd have to go deeper into that data. It probably exists because they have, if you go to the U.S. Veterans Administration website, they have large-scale studies where they can compare different age groups or different branches of the military, different wars they were in or other involvement, and compare those rates to see what what might be predicting higher rates in certain subpopulations than others. But you're describing that example of that extreme physical pain, and perhaps I only can guess, but I think I can reasonably guess a sense of burdensomeness, right? And part of feeling disconnected is also you feel like a burden on top of it. And so the calculus is, the mathematical equation is I'm more valuable dead than I am alive. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear about that. And I'm sorry to hear if suicide has touched any of your lives, and an accidental overdose too. Certainly my family has been affected by the opioid crisis in that way as well. So I can't imagine that any one of us hasn't had some connection to these concerns. So I appreciate your attention. I have brochures and business cards, and I'll stay a little bit longer. And thank you so much for your time.
Dr. Michelle, thank you for a very timely topic. We're all very interested in what's going on, particularly with our veterans. I'd like to present you with our Share What You Can Award, which means we are giving a donation to the local USO in your name. Thank you very much. In the words of a woman I most admire, Amelia Earhart, actually played her last week, no kind action ever stops with itself. One kind action leads to another. Let's leave today building connections, taking kind action, serving one another, and rejoicing in the fellowship of Rotary. Meeting adjourned.